Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. I hope everybody is really doing well. Welcome to this live stream. We are almost at 25th of June, and this month honestly has been an unexpected month with a lot of choppiness, more downside, and the price never tries to flip our levels, and it just did not give us the pump that we wanted, honestly speaking. At the beginning of the June, I mentioned that I just need one more push on an upside towards making of new all-time highs, wake it up, and then try to dump it back down to $52,000 levels. But now that we did not got that pump, and we have almost retraced back to the initiation of the move. The whole plan, the whole scenario, everything changes. Everything, even though USD dominance is in our buy zone. Every damn time, I've been telling you in the month of June, very choppiness, a lot of retails have gone out of the market. They have been crazy frustrated. It's like we are not making any money this month. It's okay, it happens. There will be time in this 12-month cycle. In the whole 12 months of cycle, there will be few months where, you just have to keep idle. You have to just enjoy time with your family. It's gonna be like peace, and it's gonna be like a lot of choppiness, where honestly it's not like a no trade zone for me, honestly, and for everyone else as well, unless those who really like to play shorts over here at heavy support, then it's up to them. But honestly, I don't prefer playing short at support. Yesterday, yes, I took few shots on Bitcoin and ETH and so based on the AI bot. The bot gave a shot at 64,700, 64,800 as well. I've booked profits as well. I mean, yesterday I booked everything, even though I believe that we will go one more move on the downside, but I'm happy. I mean, AI bot don't give the profits. It just give you the stop loss, and it just give you entries. It don't give you profits. Actually, profits it's up to us. I mean, it was a very good trade, and nice one, mashallah. So practically, guys, what should we anticipate? I mean, the month end is coming, just 5 days left for June. June is already red. The June open is around 67.5, and we did not try to close that levels. If you remember, I mentioned 67.4 is what we need to flip. Till it don't flip on H4, we don't long anything. We never longed anything. Then again, when it start dumping back down to the towards $63,000, I did mention that till we don't flip 63.8, we don't long anything, and it did not flip to 63.8, and we are here actually. So when you're playing this game, you need to understand and you need to adapt to the levels. I mean, you need to be very quick to adapting. Until you don't adapt, that it's like, if you don't adapt to the price action, if you don't adapt to the levels, you're gonna badly get wrecked, honestly speaking. And one of the best part about even though we did not made money in this month of June, but I have made a good amount of Bitcoin in the month of June. How? So at the beginning of the June, we were able to buy, let's say for example, one Bitcoin currently at a current price of 60,876. Currently, what is going on the screen, I am able to buy 15% more Bitcoin. That's like 1.15, which is amazing without doing nothing. It's simply that I am able to buy more and more Bitcoin in the market. That's where the real value is. I mean, very few people understand it, this concept, and very few people are going to talk about it, because I don't know how many people plays coin margins, but I am more interested in accumulating Bitcoin for long term rather than being in USDT, because as I mentioned, in the next few days or months, or maybe a few years like 2024 and 2025 beginning, we will see a revolt in USDT, revolt in stable coins. I think the US markets are going to take over the whole crypto market. Basically, it's just going to be like, everything is going to be regulated by them. So that's the reason the focus should be more on not holding USDT, but instead I also showed you how you can convert your USDT into USD on Bybit. or you can convert it USDT on US in euro or any other currency for that sake. So you can do that on Bybit actually. Okay, so let's talk about the Bitcoin. I mean, guys, what exactly Bitcoin is up to? I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, if you just look at this chart, if you look at the chart, I mean, if you just forget about the history of where Bitcoin came from, you know, from the bottom of, you know, 15,500 to almost close to $73,000 or 74K, I would say. What exactly Bitcoin wants right now? I mean, if you look at just this structure from these highs till now, what you're going to see is hell lot of people, hell lot of buyers are trapped at 67.9. They literally got trapped. They have bought heavily from 67.9 and they have accumulated heavily at $67,000, and they just got trapped badly. And this wick that we saw yesterday, the Monday lows that were forming, this is the main reason the volume was pretty much high, as you can see on the perhaps over here on the Bybit, which means that those who got trapped are now liquidated or have closed or have started closing their longs. I mean, they are just accepting the losses, you know. So basically that's the reason this big move happened yesterday. It's like a panic. Why? Because we started losing the value area low of this whole range. The value area is around 62.5. So if you really want to be bullish, make sure 62.5 gets flipped. If you flip, then and then only we are bullish. If you don't flip, then which means that we are likely going to continue further on the downside, maybe towards $55,000 to $54,000, or maybe just like a swing failure pattern, just sweep the previous month lows of 56.5, just a wick down, 55.9, maybe 55.4, and then we start reversing back down to pump it up highs to take this, you know, whole equal highs. But hey, have you ever imagined, if you look at the hard term time frame, I forget about the Bybit, forget about, you know, Coinbase, because Coinbase don't have it did not sweep the highs. It is having an equal highs. Okay, so many spot charts have equal highs over here, as you can see on the daily time frame. On the Bybit, as you can see here, Bybit have wigged up, which means that it took the liquidity and then we started dumping back down. But many spot charts, like for example Coinbase, an example, it did not sweep the highs. I mean, you can just check yourself as well. You see, we did not sweep the highs. It went till 71,974 and the highs was 71,980, which means that, you know, it was like an equal highs and lot of liquidity we have. So practically what exactly Bitcoin wants over here actually. So I think it's best for us to chart, you know, CMEs rather than just looking an answer in perhaps or, you know, perhaps or maybe any other chart. But I think CME is having all the answers you want. Anyway, I want the answer, so I think CME is having every damn thing. So let's go to the CME chart, guys. Well, if you look at here on the CME chart, CME did sweep up the highs, which means that CME is 90%, or I would say 100% of the time CME is correct. So CME swept the highs over here. As you can see, it did not sweep once, it swept twice. Clearly indicate over here, very clearly says that, you know, the move on the Bitcoin that we saw was 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a diagonal wave 5. So that's like a clean 5 waves for CME. Even though Coinbase doesn't seem like the same, but this is perfectly what I would be playing. So exactly, you know, what we should be doing, guys. I mean, what would be the next for Bitcoin? Let's inverse the chart and you will find the answers. If you inverse the chart over here on CME, you will find your answer for Bitcoin. How? Let's just put it like logarithmic chart for an instance, so we know everything over here on CMEs. Well, if you look at here on CMEs over here at this point, this is very clear to me. This is seems to me like some sort of a, you know, a very interesting wave. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. So practically meaning that we are done with, we are literally done with wave 3 actually. Let's say if this is 1 2 3 4 5, okay, so this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 already, and we are right now doing wave 4 practically, and then one more push on the downside for the wave 5. So if let's say we are in the wave 4, and which I personally believe that we are in the wave 4 at this point, yes, I believe that we are in the wave 4 because there is that wave which is missing. Clearly the wave which is missing. Now over in this even wave count, I also have one more doubt that let's say even if this was your wave 1 of 3 and then you got irregular expanded flat for wave 2 of 3, the only problem is over here that normally your wave 3 should be very much bigger than your wave 1. In this scenario, our wave 3 is slightly smaller than anticipated, meaning that there is a possibility that the wave 3 is still not done, meaning that this whole thing is still wave 3 and the bigger wave 4 choppiness is going to come somewhere probably by end of this year, somewhere around there. So what might happen is we are right now playing a bear flag for a wave 4 here, the bear flag. So if you look at here on the lower term time frame wave count, this is like your wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, A, B, C, wave 4, one more move on the downside, wave 5. I'm just going to change the color of this count to yellow, and it's an intermediary wave count, so I'm just going to put it like a minuscule. Okay, so practically just like choppiness, push up like here, chop, we go up here and then we start moving down like this for wave 3, further run it back up for another choppiness would prevail, would come back, and then we started doing something like this, chop. This is how I think Bitcoin is likely going to play out. Why? Because a very simple reasoning. I see that if this is the 5 waves and this is like a bull run 5 waves and an end of the whole mother 5th wave, then this is how it should play out. But an alternative bearish count is ABC. So let me just save this one for you guys. This is my, at this point, this is my secondary wave count, but I'm just gonna, bullish impulsive move. So I'm just gonna keep this here. And let's talk about the bearish count. The bear case scenario over here on the Bitcoin is not primary, 1 2 3, but it's like more of an ABC. This is A, this is B, 1 2, and this is like a wave 3 over here, and we are in the wave 4 right now. So practically we are in the wave 4, still we are in the wave 4, one more push up like here, like a bear flag, chop, and then we go for one more move on the downside for the wave C. It finishes up and then kalas, we pump it up back up to this point here, $40,000. So eventually we will go there, guys. Eventually, whether you like it or not, in the next few months, maybe down the line 6 to 7 months or maybe 8 months, I think, and I'm saying Bitcoin will eventually go down to, or go up, this is an inverse chart, go up to 39,400 minimum. It's gonna go there eventually, whether you like it or not, it's gonna go there. The good part is we sold all of our bags. Bitcoin bought at 39,000, Bitcoin bought at 16,800, Bitcoin bought at 62,000. We sold every damn coin Bitcoin at 70,400 average, and I'm so damn happy booking those profits. Very, very, very happy. Very happy, and you should be happy too, guys. We made a good amount of gains from 39k, and it was a good plan actually. So eventually, what I'm saying that this is like a wave, wave ABC, and the inner wave would be, the wave count for the inner Bitcoin would be 1, 2, and that's like some sort of wave 3 over here, wave 4, and then you're gonna get wave 5. So that's how you see, or I see, the bear case scenario for Bitcoin actually. So I would just name it like a bear case. Okay, so that's our bear case scenario for Bitcoin and bull case scenario for Bitcoin. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm seeing right now is on the daily time frame, we are having a good support. Just put it here. We are forming like a bull flag over here in my view, and not like a double tops of something. So I'm still hopeful for Bitcoin to, even if you go down to $55,640 to $54,000, I feel Bitcoin is going to be bullish. And I still would like to see one more push on an upside for Bitcoin. Why? Because if you look at daily time frame, that the RSI on the BTC CME is almost very much close to a very big oversold territory. So every time we went there, over here, as you can see, very close to 30, 26. But every time we go there, it gives us a good buying opportunity, and the price pumps heavily. Look at here as well. Look at here. We got a move on the downside, and similarly, a very similar sort of a move, but a different price action, as you can see. A, B class, and then boom, a very similar sort. A little bit different over here. We did not sweep the high, so this is going to like A, B, C over here, or WXY, C, and then we can shoot up one more push on an upside. But I definitely see in the next few days this is going to unfold, and I see it Bitcoin pumping back up to new all-time highs in my view before dumping back down to $40,000. That is a very interesting, that's my primary scenario for Bitcoin. Even just look at the weekly time frame. A weekly RSI is at 50 support. Just let me show you guys. Whenever weekly RSI goes back to 50 support, it just gives us that good bounce whenever. So just look at historical data over here. This is where we literally topped out in 2019. Bear market kicked in, and then we went here a little bit more on the downside, and then we price pump. But if you look at the price over here, just look at here the price. So even though we topped out, we went down like this here. We got a move, clearly a big move, which was roughly around 20 to 30%. Oh, that was roughly around 63% move on an upside. Now that was in the midst of a bear market rally, in the midst of a bear market rally. But just look at the bull run. Even in the bull run, we did the similar thing. We got a very interesting highs like this, super overbought. We went close to the 50, made a fake out over here, and then the price started pumping back up in an ABC fashion. Now that was like a bear market, I know, but a very similar sort of a thing I'm expecting for Bitcoin over here as well. So I think right now we are not ready yet. I do think that we should be looking for a little bit more down on RSI to 52. So practically, this is going to be like a sweep of the lows one more time to somewhere close to 55,650 to 54,000. Reclaim it back, and then it should run it back up to 66, and like one more push on upside, taking all the liquidity, and then dump again actually. So next time the dump is going to happen, this dump is going to happen, it's going to be very quick. It's not going to be chop. It's going to be like a flash dump. It's going to be like a blow off sort of thing, So that's what I would expect from Bitcoin, guys, and it perfectly aligns with my weekly plan for the USD dominance as well. Now this is what the weekly and daily looks like on RSI and everything on Bitcoin. Now let's also talk about this is the CME chart. Let's also discuss about the Bitcoin from the daily EMA perspective. For the very first time in the history of Bitcoin, we are testing, we are going to test EMA 200 on daily. So if you look at here, EMA, for the first time in the history of Bitcoin. So your EMA 200 when we tested last time was around when we flipped last time. So that is like, we tested last time around 13th of June 2023. We got a fake out, and then what we got is a big move on and upside, similar, and then started dumping back down. So a very similar sort of a thing I would like to see on Bitcoin as well. So I would like to see a very nice reaction from EMA 200. Just liquidate them, trap them, and trap the bears. And as I mentioned, what we should be doing is one more move on the downside, trap everyone, go down here, make everyone believe that we are bearish, we are losing EMA 200. But on the next candle, we reclaim it back and we just start running up, accumulate here, and do something like this. So that's going to be, retracing the whole pump in a very, very, short, move, I would say, in a very short time span. Whatever time it took to dump, it's going to recover back in a very quick mode actually. So that is going to be a very interesting view for Bitcoin. That's the reason I think one more move on the downside is imminent. Now let's also look from the EMA perspective. We know that there was a 5 waves on an upside. Okay, we know that there was a 5 move on an upside, and I don't believe and I don't expect the Bitcoin to lose EMA daily on a single slingshot. No. So EMA daily on 200 is not going to be Bitcoin is not going to lose it so easily. It's like for the first time we're going to test it, so you don't expect it to lose it. No. If you look at here from if you look at here from the wave-count perspective, what you will find here is that this is some sort of a wave 1, that is your wave 2 ABC, and then again you got 1, 2, and we are in the wave 3. Wave 3 normally sweep the lows, so I would say this is going to be a wave 3. Wave 4, one more slightly push on the downside and then run up. So practically we are still in the wave 3 actually. So that is going to be like a wave 1, 2, 3 normally sweep the lows, so that's going to be 3. Nice pump up. Wave 4, previous month value very low, rejection, one more down, and booyah. So it's going to be like a trap under the daily EMA 200, and there's going to be like a good amount of trap, and we are buying that EM trap actually. We are definitely buying that trap, definitely buying that trap. So that's the reason, ladies and gentlemen, we should not be worrying. Just have some patience. There is like a $4,000 downside move, which in my view is coming from the current price. We might slightly go and retest 61.5, 62, but that's all. For now, I'm still expecting one more, because this move doesn't seem to be complete in my view. It needs to have one more move on the downside, and then this whole move completes. Now the only alternative bull case scenario that I have left is, what if this is not 1 2 3 4 5, but this is a very interesting A over here, B over here, 1 2, and this is like a wave 3, one more push on the downside. We're just going to have our wave C. Like, what if this is just going to be like, very interesting ABC. We don't sweep the lows, we make bear so horny that it's just going to sweep the lows. We're just going to sweep the lows. We don't even give chance to bulls to fill in. We've just front run everyone. That's the worst case scenario that is going to have for Bitcoin. And that's like, it happens, it happens. So nothing to worry about it. That's like a worst case scenario we can have it. We already went to 0.886. We should not be going back under 0.914. Because if you really want to be bullish, you really don't want to see going back under 0.914, which is 57.8. Because if we go under 57.8, it's going to open door for my target of 56.4 to 55.5, practically. So at this point, I think we are not bottomed locally. Maybe we can just stop it off like here, one more down like this, and then we can run it off probably. This can be a very interesting wave C. 1 2 3 4 5, so that's gonna be like A B C as well. So practically speaking, At this point we have LTF, the ABC is also valid, and the 5 waves are also valid, and both are valid on CMEs actually. So currently, in my view, we should not be rushing into anything. Let the price decide its course. Let me go down to the EMA 200 on the daily at 57.9, 57.8. EMA 200 daily is on the Bybit is around those levels. Even on Binance, it is around those levels. You can just keep on checking our screener, guys. The trend catcher screener that we have on our 21M Technicals website. As and when things start turning back to positive, it starts displaying positives or up or strong up, you can start looking for those coins. Till then, just patiently wait. Also, don't look for shorts here. Why am I saying don't look for shorts? Because if we dump, you won't get time to get out, because the reversal is going to be this, and we might just probably keep on doing something like the whole dump. You won't get a chance, any retracement, and it just keeps on pumping up till we liquidate every single shorts around 65,224, and then we can do something like this, you know. So very careful. You don't just want to get stuck into short over here. The shorting opportunity was yesterday, day before yesterday, 64 when bot gave the short. I took it, I booked profits, I'm out, and I'm not looking for any short right now. I don't want to get trapped into any short of bullshit, but this is what the plan that you have right now on the Bitcoin. I hope you understand it, and I definitely think that you know, the only worst case scenario for the market, the whole worst case scenario, the choppy scenario for the market would be, this is your wave 1, this is your wave 2, and the top is in. We are going to see something like this here. This is going to be the worst case scenario. And if you think that we will bounce from 40k, yes, we will bounce from 40k, but that's going to be like a dead cat bounce. Rejection is going to happen from 49,300, and we simply dump it back down to 36,000, and eventually going back down to $32,000. That's going to be your worst nightmare for the whole crypto market. That's going to be like a fuck up scenario for the whole crypto. Worst case. This is like a worst case scenario, guys. A bear case. Totally bear case. Because there is no mid bear, there is no mid bull. No. Either it's fully bull or it's fully bearish. There is no middle line we have. Because if you remember the hard term time frame that we have, if you remember BLX, go to the BLX chart. On the BLX, if you look at here, on the BLX, we still have both the scenarios pretty much valid for Bitcoin, you know, the bull case scenario and the bear case scenario. The bull case scenario is 49,400 is going to hold till we are holding 49.4. This is how it should have been playing out. But in between, how the wave 4 or how the intermediary wave 2 of 3 is turning out is very important. But right now it's not looking very much like intermediary wave 2. So basically that's like a wave 1 2 1 2 3 4 5, and then you got a wave 4, another wave 5, something like this. So this intermediary wave 2 is not looking that good at this point. So more or less, this to me looks like a wave 4 of something like a bear flag scenario. A reverse chart on the CME I showed you a few minutes back, or you can say bull flag on the normal chart. This is how I look at on the lower term time frame. One more push up is inevitable in my view, and the bear case, you know, the death. It's like the top is in, it's like a double top, and as I mentioned, you know, full blown bear case scenario. We just keep on dumping back down like to 32.8. A pump from there is going to happen to 48, 49, and then further dump it back down to 19k. So that's like a full case, full like, you know, bear case scenario for the Bitcoin. But I just don't want to go there at this point because, you know, we just want to play the levels. But I just want to tell you that we should be keeping in mind what can be the worst case scenario for the Bitcoin, because you just don't want, I've seen many people just keeps on buying it without even knowing exactly why they're buying it, and without even knowing where exactly they want to sell it. So don't be that, guys. We are holding LDO. LDO is in profits. We have bought dot is slightly underwater. We have also bought waves, and due to some bad news, wave literally dumped it up. I'm still down on waves, but I am very much hopeful, because not from the project perspective, but from the price action perspective, waves is definitely going to test $3.36 to $4 at some point. And maybe that test, when it happens, is going to be like a pump and dump sort of thing. So we just have to be very, very quick. When that happens, we simply just have to get the fuck out of waves, sell our at break even, or maybe slightly loss. That's it. But we just have to get out of waves, actually. That's all. But this is the worst case scenario I'm talking about here on the Bitcoin, guys. Worst case, full worst case scenario. But right now, I think my most preferred scenario, as I mentioned, is, the best, most preferred scenario is this, the CME chart that you have it, bullish case. That's my most preferred case scenario. I would like to see one more push up to 77, 78, and from there a dump back down to sweep the lows, maybe like a support of 51,000, and then again pumping back up to 82,000, forming a very interesting broadening top pattern like this. Normally this is going to be very interesting if it happens. So let's see if the broadening top pattern forms or not. But this is my most prominent and primary scenario. That we also have the bear case scenario. This is the bear case scenario that I have. No more double top, single top, and blow off top dump. So that's like a bear case scenario that we have, ladies and gentlemen. Now this is the worst case scenario. That's like a bear case scenario. Right now it's not my primary scenario, but still a possibility if USD dominance flips 5.24%. Because if it flips over here, the 5.24%, it just changes the whole wave counts. Let's understand it. It is in our buy the dip zone. If you remember, this is our buy the dip zone. So let's say if I just delete the fibs and if I delete the buy the dip zone, everything else, what might happen is over here on the USDT dominance is we might be doing an irregular expanded flat. Right, for going for like a normal flat, we might just do, or zigzag, irregular expanded flat. So this was the top, ABC, choppiness ABC, we sweep up the highs, and then we go for irregular expanded flat, ABC, and then booyah, something like this. So this is what the irregular expanded flat looks like to me, actually. So this is the worst case scenario. Still 5.24% should not be flipped on the daily. No two daily candle should be closed above 5.25, and I do think it's not going to close above it because we have a strong EMA 200 daily support on Bitcoin. So I think that is where the whole story, that the whole trend is going to lie. Because if you start losing that EMA 200 on the daily, guys, then I doubt simply we just have to short the whole market. That's all at that point of time. Then the things are going to turn, everything is going to turn to more of shorting than longing. But right now we are just want to buy the dips because we are still bullish. The trend is bullish, weekly trend is bullish, daily trend is bullish. So that's the reason we want to buy. So that's what I have for USDT. I won't be talking much about oils at this point or in this stream. Total 3 is perfectly going to my plan. If you remember last live stream that we had on like 4 or 5 days back, I mentioned that I would like to see one more move on the downside. There is a dollar liquidity. I want it to go back down into this green box. From there a push is going to happen, and then further dump is likely going to happen, which is going to give us a very interesting, from this box I'm expecting a nice 18% move on an upside, and E1 it can give us a very interesting 30 to 35% move as well, like a double top sort of a thing. And hence I believe that we will get one more move on the downside for total 3 as well, along with everything else. And when it goes down, sweep the lows. Just have this chart on your screen, have it on your mobile trading view, have this levels draw, because it's a big daily order block, guys, a very big daily order block. Just go there inside the green box. Once we go there, once we go down, just buy few of the alts, not all but few, and those I will just share the list of the alts that I particularly like it. For example, Solana, it's looking good for a one more push and upside. You can even buy INJ. I'm not saying it's gonna make new all-time highs, but what I'm saying is it can give you 30 to 40% upside. Buy the strong alts like Ton, Ondo, because they can run up very nicely. Buy few DeFi coins, not much, like DeFi coins like, you know, or maybe also like Near is also looking great. We already are having DOT, so don't look for DOT. Even if you want to DCA to bring your average down, you can do that so that you can make good money on DOT. Buy some Near. So that's what you can just put 1% each on these alts, and those 1% is going to 1 to 2% you can keep on accumulating it, and that way you can make good money actually out of this whole pump. Actually, you can even put 5% of your bags on each alt, so that it goes totaling to around 30-40% of alts and 50% of Bitcoin, and that's how you are going to make good of this, because total 3 is looking amazing. Just go one more down, take a liquidity and khalas, and then we start running up turbo. 18% minimum is expected, and 35 to 40% maximum I expect for total 3 to do actually. So that's all for the today's stream, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm expecting one more move on the downside. A minimum is going to be 57.8. Maximum in my view should be around 55k max in my view at this point. So that's all what I have for today's stream, guys. I hope you like it. If you like it, do press the like button, guys, and don't get disappointed from the market. Yes, even I am very much disappointed. Honestly speaking, I have not made much money this month. It's so choppy, but I have made more Bitcoins this month. I'm again telling you, at the beginning of the month, if I was able to buy 1 Bitcoin, right now I am able to buy 15% more Bitcoin, which is amazing. We literally sold the top at 70,400, so I'm really happy with selling the top, but I'm still not happy that we did not short it. You might even complain that, hey, why did we not short it? It's not my style to short it. Why? Because till the price is above 64k, it's not where you short it. If you really wanted to short, it was yesterday when we get a call around 64.5 over here. That was the short. This was the quick book profits, and alas, I mean, this is not the levels you short right now, as I mentioned, because when we go down, the reversal is going to be very quick. The whole dump is going to retrace in like few candles, maybe, few in the sense 10 to 12 candles. It's going to retrace the whole move, and you might not even get a chance to get out of your shorts, and then you will get stuck up in your shorts. The last chart I'm gonna see that I forgot about was Ethereum. I was expecting Ethereum to give one more push on an upside, like here, ABC, and then dump like this, if you remember. But then ETH gave us the move. It went to my level of 3,300 to 3,290 over here. If you remember, on the last stream I mentioned, that is my most optimal trade entry zone for ETH, and that's why I'm holding the ETH spots for the challenge. I'm really comfortable with the challenge actually, for holding ETH. So practically, if you look at here, the scenario that we have, the bear case scenario, practically we would be most likely looking to go down to $3,092 to $3,100 for ETH, and I do think that ETH should be going down. There is supposedly a B wave. I was telling everyone that B wave can be an irregular flat, or it's almost done over here, and we are likely going to see down back to the C wave. It's like an accumulation that's happening in a range actually. It's a very strong accumulation that's happening. If you just look at here on ETH, that's like, it's a ranging. It's very interesting range that we're forming on ETH. So right now at this point, I see ETH is not bullish. I don't see that ETH is going to, I really don't see ETH is going to run up from here towards making new all-time highs. No, I don't think so. So practically, even if it run up, I think Bitcoin is going to outperform Ethereum again. And even if it run up, how Ethereum should do is, Ethereum should tag this naked PL share on 3,100, 3,060. or so, and from there we will see a nice run up to taking liquidity back till 3686 or so, and from there further down like this. So that's what I'm expecting. So if you really want to buy ETH, 3090 to 3030 basically this levels, 3090 to 3030 is where you should be looking to buy ETH, and you can make a good, how much, easy peasy in my view, you can make 18 to 20% gains on ETH, which is going to be good enough for, even I am looking to I will also give a coin margin longs over here for ETH. I'm patiently waiting for it. So that's my plan for ETH. My Bitcoin plan is very much similar, and to USD DOM on the lower term time frame. I'm still expecting one more move on the downside because the structure is missing. It's not complete. There has to be one more down, and once it has the one more down, the structure is going to complete totally, and we might reverse actually. So that's all for today's stream, guys. Have a nice day. We're going to connect soon today for some scalping sessions, and also we are going to start a new challenge account for 50k for all the prop guys who are there with us, and we're going to run it. We have new strategy formed with me and Shaur, and earlier I did not follow anything. I just simply, lot of things happen, a lot of things earlier happen, and right now I think we have a plan, concrete plan, and we would like to try to start it from 1st of July because of the market conditions. But yes, definitely we're gonna start it. Let's check for my friend. Let's check it. FET. He's saying he's stuck in short. FET. I mean, I don't know, but FET literally went to my buy zone. It went to 1.17, and the biggest support was around 1.1, which we reversed from. And I think this was like a perfect bear flag that we had on FET. Okay, so practically speaking, on the lower term time frame, I am looking FET to do something like this. It's like a very interesting A, B, a little bit push on the downside maybe, but I'm expecting it to take liquidity till 1.8, and maybe it can even extend to 1.9 as well. But that's what I'm expecting for FET. This is where the whole thing lies. Till FET rejects here, and which I feel it's going to reject, come back down from there, it's going to reject. So till we are rejecting, good. But if it flips up here on the daily, then FET can be like, roller coaster ride. It can just do something like this, an inverse head and shoulder, and then up like this. It can simply do something like this. But for now, I think this is what I'm looking for in FET. I'm expecting it to run up a minimum of 1.78. Max it can go up to 1.9. That's what I'm expecting on FET. I think if you really want to buy ENS, you can buy on Binance. You see, I mean, there's a you can buy on Binance, but what exactly are the levels you should be buying ENS? For that, we just have a look on the weekly time frame. This chart very much look alike lit chart. I'm just going to do something like this. So practically you have the support, a very interesting order block that you have here. It's a very good support actually. So I think the move that we saw here was a clean 5 waves. 1, 2, a volume kicked in, wave 3 over here, wave 4, wave 5. So practically speaking, I think if you really want to buy ENS should be doing something like this. Ideally it should do something like this, because you got a 5 waves here, you got a wave A over here, and then you got wave B. So ENS have to finish the wave C, So ideally you should be buying ENS. You should have your orders for ENS around 786 Fibonacci levels, 9.29. That's also your order block, 9.29 to 8.5. Or in case we are having we are go for irregular expanded flat, let it just do one more push on upside, take a liquidity ABC. So then it's going to be like not a running flat or a zigzag. There is not going to be a zigzag. Okay, then it should be like wave A, irregular expanded flat, wave B, and then you look for wave C. So we're going to then buy this order block. But at any point, even if you push on an upside, to make one more push on an upside, ENS is going to come back down, retrace to 14.5 to 12.6. So that's the plan. Either irregular expanded flat, so this is your irregular expanded flat, or a running flat, or a zigzag, sorry, not running flat, zigzag. So zigzag would be just a dump from here, push it up like a little bit, further dump back down to here, and then push up. So that is going to be your zigzag. Okay, so that's all for today's stream, guys, and have a lovely day. I'm simply patiently waiting for Bitcoin to give one more down, because I think there has to be there needs to be one more on the downside. And I think even though USD dominance looks to me like toppy over here, but there is one more wave which is missing. You see clearly on the 2 hours time frame, wave 1, 2, wave 3, 4, 5. One more push is inevitable. I mean, it's just pending actually. I don't see that how we are not going to see one more on the downside. So let's say, but if we are flipping 62.5 on 4 hours or even on daily, then I would say that the bottom is in, and we will be then buying it immediately. We will be buying it, and then we should be looking for 67.5 to 69.1 at that point of time. Okay, for now I'm expecting one more on the downside. So that's all for today's stream, guys. We're just going to connect probably in noon, or maybe in around when the New York session begins. We'll connect at that point of time. Have a nice day. Take care.